So as it turns out, y'all can't get rid of us. We about to hit y'all with two. Hit y'all with another little episode, man. There was definitely a question, and I've gotten this question over the years. For those people who are on my Snapchat, y'all know I've been talking crap on Snapchat for years now. Years.
That's all it does.
One of the bigger questions I always get is, why do men cheat? Before we get too far into it, like, subscribe, comment on the video
Slap
below.
That bell.
Please do. It helps with the algorithm. It helps get our content in front of the right people. You know what I'm saying? And
you.
Yeah. So we just want to make sure everybody can enjoy what we're bringing to you. But long story short, why do men cheat? KG, why do you think men cheat?
Why do I cheat? I don't cheat because I'm black. Black men don't cheat.
Cap.
Why do men cheat?
Bruh.
It's a long list of why men, if they do cheat, and it can start off with they're not being satisfied at home.
Well, sometimes you
should keep your hoe on a leash.
Hey,
you gotta keep your hoe on a
sometimes
leash.
You gotta keep them on a leash.
Well, I mean, again, when you start talking about like cheating, right, and everything that comes along with it, I think you have to understand that to be a guy that women actually want is a big deal, right? Statistics show through online dating that women swipe right 20% of the time. I don't know if it's swipe right. Yeah, swipe right is how you accept somebody.
Yeah.
Okay. So they swipe right 20% of the time, right? Guys are swiping about 70% of the time. So what that means is that women don't find as many men attractive as men find women attractive, right? So if you're a guy who knows he has women in abundance, right? Why would he narrow down his selection to one woman? Right? So when you get down to the statistics of things, when you start talking about you want a guy to be 6 foot plus, you want a guy to make $100,000 a year, you want a guy that has his own business, you have all these, he has to drive a BMW and all this other stuff, he has to have this much money in the bank, you're just dwindling down the pool of men that are going to be good enough for you, right?
Okay.
And if they're good enough for you, they're good enough for everybody. All women want those same things. So if I'm a guy and I've obtained those things, why? My life is about abundance at this point.
True.
Why, out of everything that I've done, I probably have multiple cars, you probably have multiple homes, you know what I'm saying? You have money, you have liquid that you can spend if you need to.
Right, though.
Why would I limit my selection of partner to one woman when I have droves of women coming at me on a regular basis?
Temptation is hard to resist.
I agree.
Temptation is out there all the time, every day. As soon as I walk out the door, I can look to the left and look at my neighbor, and that's temptation right there.
Oh yeah, easy. Especially, and it's different. And let's just break it down for them. It's different for guys. Women don't generally approach men in public. Like they don't.
True.
I'm a grown man. How many times have a woman come up to me and say, "Hey, come get this coochie"?
I had it happen a couple times.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't know if that's true or untrue.
But I'm just saying.
Cap.
Hey, I had it happen a couple times.
But
I got text messages.
Okay, so on average, right, I would think that most women ain't out here trying to get guys to dive into their draws immediately. True. We are the pursuers.
True.
So,
Well.
okay.
That might have changed.
How so?
Now times days.
Okay.
Because back in the day, women weren't doing that. And now that we've progressed, women are okay with doing that now. It's a lot. If you look on social medias, it's a lot more now. A lot more women proposing to men.
And I think that's just
silly.
So,
it's silly, but it's a lot more women proposing to men now than it was back in the day.
Be that as it may, right? I think overwhelmingly, and those women aren't proposing to. They're proposing to alpha men, right? They're tired of waiting.
They can't be proposing to an alpha man.
Well, I mean, for him, he might not accept it. She can do it.
No, because if he's an alpha man, she know that. She knows she couldn't even try to do that.
I don't know if I've seen that scenario.
I'm just saying, if you're an alpha male, like you and I don't see a female saying, my man will say yes to me proposing to him.
Well, I'm saying like, okay, so you're an alpha male and you dragging your foot, right?
An alpha male is not gonna drag his foot though. He's gonna do what he wants to do. When I'm ready to marry you, I'll marry you.
Cap.
Look, this is the thing, right? Because I know some people. I ain't gonna say no names who've been dragging who has drigging. How you pronounce it? How you
dragging?
You drug. You done drug your foot.
Yeah.
I know people who drag their feet all the time, and like I said, women can get overwhelmingly frustrated with their lack of progress as it comes to a relationship wise. And I could see a woman saying, "You're not moving fast enough. Here's a wedding ring."
I hate that. That's so irritating. Because women act like they don't have patience.
Well, no, they want stuff under. They've been living their whole lives like things are on their time. You understand?
Right.
Their whole life, their whole existence has been, I get what I want because I'm a woman. That's not to say all. I'm just speaking generally speaking.
Right.
I get what especially if you're a pretty woman, for the most part, when you drive, people get out your way. That's how life is. Like everything's a clear lane. There's some bumps in the road, obviously, with anybody, but for the most part, a lot of the things that you're afforded are kind of presented and given to you, right?
For the nice looking women.
Right.
Yeah.
So to get with a guy that she want to be with, and he doesn't show, or he's not moving as fast as she would like, there is some frustration. And if she's somewhat masculine and progressive, maybe and modern, maybe she says, well, I don't think there's anything wrong with me proposing to him.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Try it with alpha male.
I don't get jiggy with that.
Yeah, I'm just saying
At all.
If you feel comfortable enough to try it with your man, you say you ready to get married, he's dragging his feet, go ahead and try to propose. See if you get a yes or no.
Well, let's pivot back to the topic. Why do men cheat? Right.
I told you, they're unsatisfied at home.
Right, but okay, so there are some females who are gonna say, I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Okay.
I do everything he says. I cook, I clean, I have sex when he wants to have sex. Why does he cheat?
Yeah, it might be. Are you sexual like he likes? He might like a more seasoned woman in the bed versus somebody that's not so seasoned.
Okay, so what do you mean by that?
That they're more seasoned, like they're comfortable with doing different things, different positions.
Okay.
If she's not doing that for him, then he might step out and find somebody that does that for him.
Okay.
If she's not taking care of home, he might find somebody that's taking care of home, and sooner or later she's going to be out the door.
So I think it's important to point out that the mere act of sex is not enough, right? You think that just because he want to have sex and you have sex with him, that's a reason why he shouldn't step out.
Right.
What he's articulating is that the effort that you put into those acts is paramount.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So if a guy wants to lay up with you and have sex, and he want to try something goofy, let's say he want to have sex on the roof, some stupid goofy stuff like
Let's
that.
do it.
You need to be down for that. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing, right? If a guy tell you he want to suck some toes, right? And you uncomfortable with a guy sucking your toes, that don't mean he don't want to suck toes no more. He just know he can't suck your toes no more.
That's true.
So now he gonna go find a female who like her toes being sucked. For whatever, I mean, I know it sounds crazy.
And he gonna suck her toes.
He gonna suck them toes. You know what I'm saying? Women have to be adaptable in that when it comes to a man, because again, there's nothing else in life that you get that you're expected to keep for the rest of your life.
Right.
That you obtain. Like, okay, kids is one thing, obviously that's blood. But if you think about everything else in your life, your car, your house, your job, everything else changes.
That's true.
The one thing that stays constant is your significant other. And to say that I have to put up with somebody who's unwilling to adapt to and men adapt very well, I would think, right? There's always a new trend. There's always something else that happens on a yearly basis that men have to kind of step their games up and do things for their women. We're consistently doing things for our women that we don't want to do. So to get into a space where a woman tells you, I don't want to do that, it's frustrating because we do stuff we don't want to do all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? But that dumb movie, The Notebook, that you had to go see, that rom-com.
I ain't never seen that movie.
I ain't seen clips.
I haven't seen that movie.
I seen clips.
I haven't seen it.
But
I'm gonna go watch it.
50 Shades of Grey.
Who want to watch it with me?
I ain't got nothing to do with that. 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay.
50 more Shades of Grey. Any Madea movie. I've never wanted, that never crossed my mind to say that's something that I need to turn on. Have I watched those movies? Yes.
But you ain't running to the movie theater. To see
No, not even close.
Gotcha.
Not even close. There are several things that men do on a regular basis that women will never really, it never pops in their head that they're doing something that we don't want to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you start going back into sacrifice and women always being the prize, because that's what they tell you, women are the prize. But if you understand how rare the man that you want is, you should be competing and understanding that he's the prize. You know what I'm saying? Because if there are 20, 30, 40, 50 other women that want to be with your man, you should be fortunate, and I say that humbly, you should be fortunate to have him, right? And you should be willing to do what it takes to keep him. That's the thing. Once you get the job, you still got to go to work.
Yeah, that works both ways.
Yeah.
What we do to get you, we should continue, and what you do to get us should continue.
Right.
Shouldn't fall off on either side.
Right. And there's times where things are going to get dull, inevitably. You know what I'm saying? There's times where, again, you want to make sure that you're with somebody and it's not just a sexual thing.
Right.
Because that's what keeps them when the sex just ain't doing it no more. You know what I'm saying? And you have to find pockets of your life whereas they better you and you better them.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like when my daughter decides to date Lord, it's going to be in the distant future. So far in the distant future, I'll have wrinkles on my eyes and gray hair. But when she does decide to date, the first thing I'm going to ask is, well, can he change a tire? Can he work on a car?
And what if she say no?
What
if she say, I don't know?
Well, I need you to start asking these questions because what can he do that you can't do for yourself?
So you gonna show your daughter all this stuff to do?
Yeah, well, I mean, changing a tire, you know, I never know where she's gonna be at where a tire could go flat.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there are the bare essentials that I think men need to know, and we've gotten away from that traditionally.
Yeah, some young guys don't know.
They don't know.
I've seen this personally. A young guy called AAA because he didn't know how to change a tire.
And that's what I'm saying. Like that's embarrassing.
It
you know what I'm
is.
saying? And some of that's, and in fairness to that young man, some of that's based on not having your dad around. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of that plays into that.
Yeah.
Whereas I grew up in the 80s. I'm an 80s baby, right? I grew up with my mom. So a lot of my mom was probably more masculine than other women, but you know, a lot of that stuff I learned because I had my grandpa. I didn't have like a dad to be like, oh, this is how you do this and this is how you do that. I had to kind of just figure the shit out. And a lot of guys don't have the dads and they don't have the wherewithal to want to figure it out.
Right.
So it's like a lost art form. Now you just calling other men to handle things that you should be able to handle within your own household. So as a guy, you have to make yourself an asset. And as a woman, you have to make yourself an asset. And you have to continuously work towards being valuable to your spouse. It is a competition.
It is.
It's a competition. You go out here right now, it's a competition. You go to the gym, it's a competition.
I can live more than him.
Yes.
I can live more. He doing 150. I'm doing 200.
Yeah, easy. Play weight. You feel me? But it is a competition, and that's why I think a lot of women are pressured to get these BBLs and all this other stuff because they do want to keep their man and they do want to keep him interested. But I think there's a line that you got to draw where you don't jeopardize your integrity for another man, because what happens if he leaves? And then you get into like single parent households. Like women are willing to have kids with guys, but they don't want to marry these guys.
I heard that.
That's backwards.
That's crazy. I heard that.
Yeah.
I was like, she said she was willing to have a child. And I said, you're taking away from the child.
Yep.
Like, he needs a father, especially if it's a son. You can't take that away from him. Well, he'll have a grandfather and an uncle. That's not the same love from a father.
Right.
You need that.
Yeah. And then you're keeping yourself from being entirely accountable, because now you can go lay up with whoever you want to and there's no real repercussions. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh.
Like, come on, man. Like,
I'm just saying.
You need to find the guy that gives you the best chance of raising good children.
Yeah.
That matters. Like,
It does.
how do we get back to that point? Now, I know we're spitballing a little bit here because women are like, but they haven't said why men cheat. Well, yeah, we have, but we've said it in
so many words.
Right. You're looking at the forest, right? We're giving you all different aspects. You want to know specifically, why do men cheat?
Then you probably got to ask yourself, why do you want to know why men cheat? Because you're getting cheated on, and they probably want to see if there's something that they can fix.
Well, I don't think guys are out here in the streets and you're just completely oblivious to why he's out here in the street.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? I think that's where it kind of gets frustrating as a man, where it's like some women will play crazy.
yeah.
They'll play dumb and be like, I don't know why he out here doing this, knowing you done had conversations with him and he wants you to do X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's you bettering yourself, whether that's the sexual components of this, whether that's you being around for the kids, whatever it is, I don't think men are just out here in a relationship cheating on women and haven't had one conversation about what he wants to change.
A man has had a conversation. He might have said what he wanted to say in so many words, and some women don't get it, and some do. But he has said whatever he needed to say to give you a cue to something is wrong or he's not liking something in a relationship.
Right. And instead of working on the relationship, what do?
She belongs to the streets.
You go right back to the streets.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because you go find, you still may be cute, right? So you go find another guy that's willing to deal with you. But you have to understand that as the older you get, the smaller your options go. You know what I'm saying? And not to mention the fact the less men start coming to you, the older you get. And on top of that, your requirements get bigger because as you get older, you make more money. Mm-hmm. And you want guys that make more money than you. But when you think about it, it ain't a lot of guys out here. I think the median household income is like $46,000.
I think it's 48.
Median household
It's 48.
income.
It ain't too many men that make $48,000.
It ain't.
That
It
is
really ain't.
able and willing to just spend it on you and make sure that you're well.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like $48,000 is not a lot of money. Let's just call it what it is. It's not a lot of money.
Not.
It's enough to survive on,
For one person.
but it's not a lot of money. If you break that down after taxes and you look at like mortgage or rent,
They probably
car
bring
note,
home $36,000 cash out of that 48.
right, $36,000 cash, and at least a third of that's going towards your rent. And that's if you get lucky and you find rent at $1,000 a month. That's $12,000 a year.
Well, it said I'll buy it right now.
Right. So now what are you down to? What, 48? No, excuse me. 36 minus 12.
35.
35 minus 12. So you're at 23.
Yeah.
$23,000 for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
About your car note. About car insurance.
Hopefully
Cell
you got a little limit. You ain't paying nothing.
But that's the thing. You can't get no female and you ain't got no decent looking car. Yeah. Female ain't gonna talk to no dude driving no. You know what I mean?
It depends on if you got a mouthpiece.
But that's
It
the
depends.
thing.
If
You gotta have
if
a
he
hella
lacking,
fine
if he
mouthpiece.
lacking somewhere else, he got to be good somewhere else.
Well, yeah, but I mean, ladies, at some point it's either put up or shut up, right? So if he got a BMW and he does have the median household income, he can't take you out. He gonna have to cook.
He gonna be a chef.
He gonna have to cook and get what? I don't know if y'all
Chefing
been
it
if y'all been in the grocery store lately. It ain't that much cheaper in the grocery
Man, them
store.
eggs is high.
I mean, come on, man. I had to break down some eggs and sell them to my neighbor.
It made me want to buy a chicken. For real.
I mean, it's crazy, bro. But it's like that guy has to go get 2 jobs to try to appease some of these women. And I think inevitably there is a large population of men who believe that they're not useful around women anymore. And if he don't feel useful, he don't feel needed.
Exactly.
He gonna go find somebody who need him.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
If you're not sexually pleasing him, no matter how far-fetched his sexual needs are. I know a lot of women be like, well, come on, that has to be within reason. But again, if that's what he want, you not giving it to him don't make him want it any less. If anything, it make him want it more.
Yeah.
So you gotta be.
What he gonna do? He gonna go cheat. So if he not getting what he needs to
Exactly.
get at home, it's gonna push him out the door.
And it's always a female that's in your ear that's talking this. I can't believe she won't lick your booty hole. I'll lick your
Hey,
girl.
Whoa.
What? Wait.
Whoa.
But But you gotta understand, there are women that are right around the corner that do that.
You're right.
They do exactly that. They sit back in the cut.
And they enjoy it.
They do. And guess what? You know why they'll do it to your man and you won't? Because they done already had a nigga that ain't shit. So they like, well,
All he wanted was this.
that's
I can
it.
do that.
I bet. And guess what? What's funny is her ex probably could have asked her to do the same thing and she said no, but she don't see the value in him no more. She see the value in you. So now she's willing to do it to him because she can pull you away from your relationship and create a situation. So it's like you can't allow people, as they say, the chink in the armor.
Mm-hmm.
You want that to be as invisible or invisible as possible because you don't want people to be able to play on the needs or what's going on in your household. You don't want people to be able to look in your household and tell you what's going on, and that way they can manipulate you.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I can go on and on and on, but at the end of the day, no man is cheating for no reason. The reasons vary.
They vary.
You know what I mean? But it's
They
always a reason.
I can give you some more.
Oh, go ahead.
Like I said, he's not getting what he's done at home. He's not getting what he wants at home.
Mm-hmm.
It could be he has an addiction to having sex with other women.
Yeah, that's possible too.
Sex is an addiction.
Yeah.
Some guys feel like that's an addiction for them. He could be addicted to it. So he don't get it enough at home, he's gonna get it somewhere else.
Right. And so when you talk about not enough at home for our viewers, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would you consider to be enough sex?
I couldn't speak because I'm not addicted like that.
Okay, but I'm saying
But
generally speaking.
if I was speaking,
yeah.
let's just say a man may want sex 5 days out of 7.
Mm-hmm.
The woman only giving him 3. What is he supposed to do with the other 2 that he wants? You're not gonna give it to him.
And don't give me that like you can go beat off. That only gonna last.
It's only gonna last so long.
It's only gonna last for so long. Let's just keep it a buck.
And he's trying to be the faithful, loyal man, but you're not meeting him halfway. He's asked numerous times. He's tired of hearing I got a headache. He's tired of hearing I got to put the kids down. He's tired of hearing, baby, I got to get up for work. You don't want to hear that all the time. If he wants sex, when he wants sex, as his woman, you should give him sex when he wants it.
Yeah.
Unless you want another woman to give him sex when he wants it.
Yeah. I mean, and I use this analogy a lot of times, right? If I come home from work, right,
Mm-hmm.
and you cook dinner and I don't eat,
Mm-hmm.
what do that say about your food?
Mm.
What do that say about where I was before I got home?
Mm.
If I no longer find your food desirable, it's not like I'm going hungry, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what you want to do is you want to be able to bridge the gap before he come home and say, I ain't hungry.
Right. Either he done ate something or he going to eat something.
Right.
But he not eating what you making.
Exactly. And that's the same thing with sex. It's like, okay, well, if y'all not doing it, there will become a point where niggas just be like, man, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. I ain't even, mentally, I'm not even there anymore because
Right.
even though sex seems like such a mundane and such a basic function, right?
Mm-hmm.
The chemicals that releases into a male's bloodstream when he ejaculates, the testosterone and things like that, the stressing and everything like that, it's a necessity. I know a lot of women feel like it's not. It's an activity. It's a necessity. It makes men feel like men. And when you stop allowing your man to feel like a man, there becomes a problem because he needs to feel that somewhere else.
And
right?
not only sex, there's other aspects of
Exactly.
it too. But to what you're saying, the man needs to feel like he's wanted.
Yep, exactly.
Period.
So if I ain't getting no butt, and I'm not killing it at home. You're not asking me to do this and asking me to do that. I don't seem to be worthy. And then you got this independent culture where everybody talking about how I don't need no man. Broke boys don't deserve no coochie. I know that's right. Like damn. Like even the background singers say I don't deserve no coochie. Like what am I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? So it's a travesty. But I think in actuality, you can be in a relationship And as long as you communicate these things and not just talk about it, be willing to actually change. Because you just can't talk about some stuff and think it's going, well, at least he got to say what he needed to say. No, it's not good enough to talk about it.
You got to change.
We need change. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you value this relationship, you'll change. You'll change. You'll change.
If you value, you'll change because you want to change.
Exactly.
I can say that. If you want to change, you'll change. If you don't want to change, and you only change him because he wants you to, you're going to revert back to the same thing you were, and you're going to make him upset again. And y'all going to be in the same place you just was before. And
right.
What was the point of you trying to do all that?
Exactly.
So
you just kick the can.
If you're going to change because you want to.
Yeah.
Change because you want to see your relationship thrive. Change because all of that. Like, you don't have to do all that all the time.
Yeah.
But the other reason why men may cheat is because they may have something inside of them. It may be depression. It may be something at work. It may be something on their mind. And coming to you may not be the right thing to, or they feel like isn't the best thing to do. So they go outside and maybe talk to someone else. And that leads to other things.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. And because, I mean, confiding in somebody is the ultimate pathway into some draws. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you talking to somebody and they going through stuff in their relationship and they confide in you for whatever reason, right? That's where the devil lingers, right? Because there's always the easy, oh, I wouldn't do that.
Right.
Your wife, she did what? Your girl did what? I would never do. So now you in conversation, there's a contrast to based off what I have opposed to what I could potentially get. Right. So then the average guy in this position is going to start scratching his head. It's no different than getting on ZipRecruiter when you already employed. What else is everybody else paying?
Right.
Can I make more money? Does somebody else got better benefits?
I've been on it before.
It's no different than just trying to figure out, is there a situation that better suits me? You know what I'm saying? So you don't want that to even be a thought, an aspect. You want to be able to be in a relationship where you guys can grow together. You don't want to get in a relationship and y'all the same exact person that you was when we met. That ain't growth.
That ain't growth. That ain't nothing.
That ain't nothing. We just kicking it. You know what I'm saying? We haven't done anything.
If y'all stand together, y'all just roommates.
We just roommates. You know what I'm saying? That screw around every so often.
Right. When you feel like it. Not when I'm ready, when you feel like it.
And that's not. And that's another thing. Another aspect is, again, with all like the SA and all this stuff where it's like, you know, the Me Too movement and stuff like that, men are reluctant to even be aggressive in the bedroom. You're reluctant to do it because it's like, I don't know if she
might not go for this.
I don't really feel like it. That's good enough for me. That's ended. Mission ended.
That's so true. Like if a man get turned down one time, it's like, all right, well, I'll try again tomorrow.
I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. I'm not gonna try to convince you into it, because then it's gonna come down to, well, I did it, but I really didn't want to do it.
But you know what? Some women like that.
Yeah, but I ain't begging for no booty.
Some women want the man to chase them. I already got you. You already know what we do.
I've chased you.
I chased you. I got you.
Yeah.
Now I got to chase you even more when I want to have sex, or I want to do this and do that. I got to chase you.
It's exhausting.
It is. And that's when you get to the point where another reason why a man cheat, because it's exhausting. It's a fight with you. I can go over here and talk to little Susie, and I ain't got to do all that. Little Susie ready. Ready when I call. If we get into an argument, I'm like, okay, babe, I'm going to take a ride. He on the phone with Susie. Yep. Susie, what you doing? What you got on? I'm on the way.
Yep.
And Susie ain't going to turn him down. Even if Susie got a headache, because she know what she know what kind of man he is. She know what she dealing with. If you want something, you can come over now.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, not to mention the fact everybody don't always got time to be chasing and playing mental games. Well, let's just say I gotta go to work in the morning. Right? I really got about a good 30 to 45 minutes.
That I can play with you.
That I can mess around with you and stuff like that. Like, if the kids just went to sleep, you can't go. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of circumstances that go into this, right? Not to say that every woman should be having quickie sex all the time, but there is a need to be able to just get one off real quick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's true.
Like, just go ahead and bust one real quick. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. Like, there's several reasons that ultimately lead into guys cheating, and based off your circumstances, it could be different. So I don't want to take your experience and say that that's not what it is. But generally speaking, no man is out here with a woman that is 100% compliant, and they out here running the streets, in my opinion.
Right.
That's just my opinion. Y'all can tell me I'm wrong. As always, get no comments below. Like, subscribe, dislike if you want to.
Right.
Give us your comments. But generally speaking, men cheat because there's something going on at home that he's not okay with.
That's true.
You
I
need
agree.
to figure that out about yourself.
I agree. And it starts with communication.
It does.
You gotta ask the questions.
It does. It really does.
A lot of my relationships probably would last a little longer if we had communication. As I've grown, I've tried to build my communications up, and I think it's working. But the previous relationships, if I had communication like I have now, I think they probably would have lasted. But
yeah, I mean, but and again, there has to be conflict resolution. We can't just sit down and have a conversation and there be no end game or there be no actual point to the conversation. I have to feel like we've made steps into resolving what the problem is. Yeah. And if not, then we're right back in the same boat.
You're right.
We've done nothing. We've wasted time.
You're right.
So those are our takes, man. We would love to hear y'all takes. We would love to get, a couple women on to just kind of give us, the back and forth on why they believe.
We can bring this back.
Oh, yeah, we can definitely bring this one back because this is a hot topic.
It is.
This is a hot topic.
It is.
And we want the woman's perspective as well. We want a couple other guys' perspective as well. So we're definitely open. We're going to go ahead and close out this one, man. But if your man cheating, it's a reason. Find out that reason and then fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa, fellas. It ain't just for the girls. You know what I'm saying? If your woman cheating, it's probably a reason to.
Yeah.
Only problem is if she cheating, she probably like the dude that she sleeping with.
She gotta like the dude, and that's a whole different topic.
Yeah.
Women don't just cheat; they gotta like the dude. They get deeper with that.
Yeah. So as always, subscribe, follow.
Slap
we
that
out
bell.
over here. Last but not least podcast. Holla at your boy.
And we out.
Yeah.